was going to fool you and jumped on and making out I was still frozen, but I'm not still frozen. This is a third attempt at doing a live broadcast now. So we'll give it a go for a third time. I've moved the router because someone has moved my router in my house, which is probably what is causing the problems. So the answer is people don't fiddle with my stuff at home because I can't then use my broadcast. So someone's jumped on already. Hopefully we'll get a few people on shortly for a third attempt tonight, but I'm going to end up raining someone if they stop fiddling with my broadcast setup to get going what they want. Heidi, how you doing? Heidi, I'm going to brain your boyfriend because I think he's moved my router, which has caused my stream to fall off twice tonight. So when I get off this, I'm going to go and give a slap. Well, I'm not, because that's obviously child. It's not child abuse because he's now a fully grown man. And but yes, not great because my router has been disconnected from the garage, taken into the kitchen, and then funny enough, it's caused an untold amount of problems tonight. Not impressed with that, but anyway, we're back in it. We're in. What was the question you asked? Sorry, didn't hear it. Yeah, he's getting a slap, Heidi. He said send him a text and tell him that. I've lost all train of thought, Mark, where I was up to. I'm so annoyed by the fact that this to me, every week, this stream is bulletproof. It has been bulletproof. I even know that it's frozen up for you all there, and I could see all the comments and the chat going on. So it's really weird. I can still see the chat, and I can see people saying about StreamYard and other things. I don't normally have a problem with this. The issue's been someone at home has moved my router and caused this problem. But hey ho, I will deal with that afterwards. So we were talking on the previous, the previous about, I can't remember where we were up to. Let's just go to a new question. The power of my alternator. The power. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that next. So I'm going to back you guys up. My notes have gone on the floor. I'm having a really bad night. Apart from that, it's all good. I'm going to back my light up as well. Let me just back this up so you can see more of the car. I'm going to shut the door, keep the heating. So as it stands right now, the car slam panel is disconnected. Both headlights are off the car. So the lovely papaya TT, there isn't much papaya going on right now. So what we have got is we're at the stage that we can see the alternator, and the alternator itself, I'm going to try and find a torch so I can take you off. I'll find my little Wally torch. There you go. You'll help us see what we're going to do. Was the Rochester meet on Saturday, on Sunday? It's on Sunday. The Rochester meet is Sunday on Facebook. It's on, Sunday morning is the Rochester meet, Christoph. Right, so I'm going to give you a little look at the car. So here is 3.2. Okay, so I've got both the headlights out. So the driver's side headlights out, passenger side headlights now out. And if we look in here, we can see there's the alternator. If I put that down like that, there's the alternator on the car. I'm sure you all know what an alternator looks like. The serpentine belt as well. We haven't got an awful lot of room in there still, though. You can probably see to get that out. But at least this slam panel is now forward. So I'm going to have to remove the charcoal canister. And then once the charcoal canister is removed, I can remove these 3 bolts down here, these Allen key bolts down there. And the idea will be I can then take the tensioner off, which then give me access to the alternator. So we should better wiggle it out. I'm hoping we can wiggle it out through there somehow and forward and get it out. And then hopefully we'll be in business. We'll probably be in business to get it going again. So we'll see what happens on that. But the Bentley and also the Haynes manual offer you to get it out through the bottom of the car. Now, for those of you that know, I did the on the car, I did the oil pressure switch, not on this one, but on the blue car, and that was all done, or tried to do that from underneath. And that was a nightmare. You can't get to it, you didn't have the access to get to it. In the end, I brought the slam panel forward, the bumper off, and we did it all from the front. And that seems to be the way to do it with a lot of these things on the car. So, yeah, that is going to be the way we're going to get the alternator off. I have been filming that, and I've over many nights and many days at the weekend. And the more that I've looked into that job and the more that I'm sort of getting into it, if you look in the footage of that video when it comes out, I've got about 4 different hoodies on. So it's not all done in one day, just so everyone's aware of that. You probably could do it all in one day, but of course, these things take me a lot longer because I'm having to put my time into filming it, getting the camera angles right, getting the footage right, so I can bring my ideas to you guys. So that's what takes a lot of time. So when these jobs take you a couple of hours at home, folks, just remember the time it's taken me, because I have to film it and explain it, make sure it's right and do it back. So I'm not going slow on purpose. It's because I want to get it right so I can share the right information with you guys at home as well. So hopefully you can bear with me. So there wasn't actually a video on the Andycharger channel that came out this week. We didn't actually have a video out this weekend because I was working on getting this video done. I had done a video on fitting an Apple CarPlay device, of all things, to a Ford Cougar. So my parents have got a Ford Cougar, and they were going down to Cornwall. Didn't want to rely on the Ford Cougar's sat nav because it's like a 10-year-old car. The maps are out of date. It'll send them up wrong turning. So I gave them a nice built-in device into the car. Bought it. It was quite cheap. It was about £50, made by a company called Lamto. Brilliant device. It's worked really well. I filmed the installation. It's really responsive and fast. Quite reasonable, 50 quid. You don't see them that cheap very often. Did all the footage, made the video, then went to delete some stuff off my iPhone to make sure I had some space, hoping the video had already been saved to my my online storage, and it hadn't. It was relying on the phone storage still, and then of course the video is now gone. So that'll teach me to not delete stuff off my phone. Did you find out what the damp patch was on the rad? I can see a bit, but less now. Yeah, well, that's brilliant. Great eyesight there, Philip. You are right. This is less, but it's still there, and it's still wet, and I can touch it as well. So it is weird. Doesn't taste metallic. That might be the condenser itself. So I still don't know. And what I haven't done is, and I suppose I should do, is I should try and dry it with a hairdryer maybe, so it goes completely, and then we can see if the wet patch comes back, because it might be a case of it's been wet from something, that it's just been so cold and damp everywhere that it hasn't evaporated. I very much doubt it because it's a long time for it to stay wet, but we don't know. I'm going to pick my notes up off the floor, so we've got that. Oh yeah, that was something I wanted to ask people, that people don't really tell when I ask them. It's a subject I like to talk about when I meet you in person as well. But I thought, with the different people we've got on the channel tonight, can you share with me, if you're happy to do so, why you bought your Audi TT Mark 1? If you can let me know in the comments why you bought it, and there must be some good stories about why you've bought your car. So let me know why you've bought it, but also how long have you owned the car, and where in the world you are and you bought your car. So let me know that information. Let me know why you bought it. Let me know how much you can let me know how much you pay for it if you want, how long you've owned it, but also if you can let me know where in the world you are right now, because it's always good to see where people are. Now, we know Mr. GMT, if he's still here, is in Australia. We know Mark Stanley's in South Wales. We know Christoph's over in Bristol. We know Andy Mortimer's up in sunny Sheffield. We've got people all over today. So why don't you let me know? It's always great to see where people are from around the world. East Coast USA from ELO Audio Visuals. Welcome along, ELO Audio Visuals. Great to have you along. I don't recognise your name from the chat before, so lovely to see that there's people out there that are watching us from all around the world. So welcome along. Please don't be a stranger and come back many times next week. Hopefully not 3 times next week, so we'll try and do it in one broadcast. I went to Wales for the Michael Jackson concert they'd done after he passed and loved it. Had mine now 5 years. Okay, that's interesting. So I reckon I've probably known you, Stephen, almost as long as you've owned your TT. This is an Audi TT right here. This is a 3.2 V6 in Papaya, one of only 41 made for the UK market. It's currently having its alternator changed by me live on YouTube most days. So it's been going on for many weeks. We do need to get it done. So the parts I have Yeah, I'm going to ask that question. Try that. Oh no, I don't want to do that. I did this last time, didn't I? Do you remember I did this last time? I had it stuck a question on the screen and then it never went. Um, W block motor. It's a 3.2 V6. It's the BFE engine code, I think. Went in my mate's Mazzano Mark One and got to drive it. Yes, mate, you've. Yeah, I was going to say I've pretty much known you since you've had the car. And that's the thing, isn't it? Now that there's a lot of people on the Mark One scene that we've that have come into it since I've been around, I guess. And I haven't been around for that many years. I've owned my Mark One, my first one, for 8 years, and I've been doing content on YouTube since 2021 on the Mark One. And I've met a lot of people along the way, holding various shows, attending various shows, doing various meets, doing the how-to videos. So I've met a lot of people along the way, and met a lot of and heard a lot of their stories as well. So again, there's people that come and go out of the scene. Mr. George, I think you're a great example of that. Where when I met you, you had your Amulet Red car. You've then since left the scene completely and had a Mark II, got again, and now you've come back with a Quattro Sport. So I get a lot of that going on. I get a lot of people, friends that have come into the scene that I've met, and then they go for a period and they come back into in and out. You like it's really great. It's people never really let go of the Mark One. That's the thing. It never really leaves them. Yeah, couldn't afford one new as a second car, and my daughter wouldn't fit in the back. I love the concept idea and the shape. So I got mine 2015. That's great. So you're a long time owner, Phil, as well. And people do seem to have these cars now as on the whole as a second car, a weekend toy, a garage princess. You know, they don't tend to use them as much as a daily driver. There are still a lot that are being used as daily drivers, but they are tending to end their days as those other cars, which means it's great because people are buying them to keep them for a longer period of time, which is great. Andy Mortimer, you bought your Merlin 3 years ago because you wanted a weekend toy. I've previously owned a couple of silver Teeter Roasters, but couldn't resist the Merlin. Yeah, and I think the first time we met, Andy, we were at the Vossprung show, bit further north, bit further south for you, but a bit further north for me. And you were telling me about the car and the project that you had and what you were looking to do, your son, and how you were doing. And again, that's the sort of stories I love to hear about people, what their plans are for cars and what they're doing. So it's great to see that project has finally materialised and the car is now on the road. And I get to see it with my own eyes when you bring that car to Ypres in just a couple of months' time. So really looking forward to seeing that. What other people have we got on there that have I might have missed out on? I don't want to make sure I'm missing out your comments with the way the feed's been tonight. Hopefully the feed's a bit more stable, guys, now, is it? Since I moved that router, we don't seem to be having any dropouts yet. We've been on for 13 minutes, so that's a good thing. How many people have we got on? If I look up there, 18 people. And if you're enjoying what you're watching, guys, please do give it a thumbs up. Hopefully you are enjoying the feed tonight and the questions that I'm asking you. There's 8 that have given us a little thumbs up now. So if you can give it a thumbs up, it's always useful to see that people are enjoying what I'm talking about as well. It's great to see so many members on tonight as well. So, you know, membership is a great thing for the channel. So if you're not a member, it's something definitely to consider doing because membership really helps me out. It helps me bring the content for you guys as well. And it really allows me to build that scene that we've got, you know. So think of it, membership nowadays is almost like to the channel is we're building like an exclusive club almost. Looking, and of course you get some real good benefits by being a member as well. You get £5 off any merchandise as well, which is always great. It gives you access to me as well. It gets you mentioned in the videos, gets your name green for identifying you as a member here in the channel as well. So there's lots of perks. What I am going to do for my members this week as well is I'm going to, as you probably notice on the post that I put up a post a couple of times a week. And I'm starting to put up more members only posts as well now to get that engagement. So to build our community that we've got, the people that want to be a little bit more in the inner circle, let's call it. And I want those people in the inner circle to be more involved in the channel. And I want you to help be decision makers in what we're doing. So when we are putting new ideas together, I want you to help select what video we should do next. So I'm going to put some ideas out this week and a poll for members only, and ask you guys what you feel I should do filming next. So obviously we've got this underway, but there'll be some ideas come out, and I'll ask you. And the winning idea that you guys think the best idea, we will put forward and we'll make that. So it makes the members directing the direction of the channel, directing the direction of the channel. But you know what I mean. So having that input into the channel. I was Blob 875. I was looking for cars with the VR6 engine, and when I saw that the T had it, I was a done deal for me. Had it 4 months. Brilliant. I hope you're enjoying that, and I hope that car is behaving for you. Blob, what colour car have you got there? And I think maybe that's a question that you should all answer me. I mean, I know what colour Andy's car is, but why don't you put in the chat, guys, what colour car you own? And also, not only what is your colour of your car, but what is your favourite colour Audi TT Mark 1? Let's put that in the chat as well. Let me know in the chat. Happy to know what it is, and we can maybe share some, see if we get a common theme of what people's favourite colours are. Might be an interesting topic for people to post up. And then I'm also going to do tonight, I'm going to do like a little quick fire round as well. So I can ask a lot of questions, and we'll give it a little 30 seconds to put get an answer into me. We can do that, see how that works as well. Just trying to change it up a little bit tonight, guys, for people, because I think we are, I want to make sure I've got new content and new interesting topics coming every week for you all. I've just noticed that the people have dropped out at 12. Now that's a worry for me, because when it starts dropping, it means that the feed's going to do its normal trick. Hopefully it doesn't, though. Denim blue, and my favourite has to be the bog standard silver. Interesting. That is an interesting one. That you've got a denim blue, but you like you prefer silver. I love a silver because that to me is the standard Audi TT colour. I have a silver TT. Andy Mortimer, thank you for becoming a channel member, buddy. That's very, very good. You are helping shape the future of the Andycharger channel. Should have done it last week. You could have got some money off your merchandise, Andy. But yeah, thanks for doing that, buddy. Always appreciated that. Mrs. Jugs, sorry it's taken a while to get you back. We have been live on here for 17 minutes now, so we're hopefully the feed's holding up a bit stronger this time. But let me know if you're having problems. Just ask the question: what is your favourite Audi TT colour, and what colour car do you own? So guys, let me know in the chat what your cars are. I have a Phantom Black Pearl V6 since 2012. Never looked back. What a lovely colour car. The black cars are a really lovely car. Let's have a look. Brighter the better. Yeah, a papaya, not really. Mizano, yeah. Well, I'm a bit biased on the papayas, am I? Because I've got one. But I think the 71 Carmen Gear Mustard Yellow would be a fitting colour. Yeah, I think you're right. There are some great colours out there, aren't there? Some unusual colours as well that aren't standard. So there's a Mark 1 that goes around that has been painted in Porsche green. I don't know if you've seen that. It's a lovely colour. It's been to a few shows. There's a few pictures I've put up. It was at the Vorsprung show, and it was also at the Ace Cafe show in December. And I think the guys, it's the first time it's been out in 18 months or something. It hadn't been out very often. It's been out a couple of times since, I've noticed. But that is a lovely colour car. Mark Stanley, Mizano QS at the moment, full underside restoration, nearly complete. Then it'll be for sale. Oh, imagine that's going to be a beautiful car when that's done, Mark. What mileage is that car on, Mark? This is your opportunity to get that sales advert out, Mark, for anyone that's looking for an absolute mint Quattro Sport. Let people know. Andy Mortimer, I'm biased because I love the Merlin purple. Yeah, and what a beautiful colour car and a rare colour car that is, Andy. You know, that Merlin purple. I've seen a couple, but not many Merlins. There was a guy that had bought one from Scotland and I'd only owned it for a little while, and it was in a bad shape, I think. And then you've obviously got Mick Wilson's got a Merlin purple car as well. I think that's a 180 that Mick's got. Your 225 obviously in Roadster, but that's the only ones I know of. But yeah, guys, if you know of other cars, let me know, because it's always good to see different color cars. I'm just going to flick back to my here's a little topic. So, and I think we're probably going to be a little bit biased because we're all Mark 1 owners, I think, on the whole. But what about the Mark 1 versus the Mark 2 debate? So back in 2006, the end of 2006, Audi decided to change to update the Mark 1 TT to the Mark 2 TT, change some of its looks and feels, I guess, and make it into a more refined car is probably the best way to describe it. But do you feel that the Mark 1 styling was lost on the Mark 2? Do you feel that the Mark 2 has lost some of its charm, maybe lost some of the Audi TT charm? I don't know. It's got, just going to move my microphones around. It's got some really great features. It's a much nicer car to drive, I think, the Mark 2, if you like comfort. But what do you think on the design features? Mark 1 all the way, not a fan of the Mark 2. Okay, that's interesting. And then we're going to ask the next question in a minute about the Mark 3. But yeah, let's see what people think about the Mark 2 to start with. It's a really popular car. I don't think it's quite as popular as the Mark 1 in numbers produced and built, but they also have some really meaty high performance versions. So you've got that Mark 2 TTRS, which was absolutely a beast of a car. Lovely car, some real strong performance out of that. Facelift looks nice, but in its own way, but not like the Mark 1. No, I agree. Mark 1 feels more special. Yeah, absolutely. Mark 1 is definitely a more special car. So, I have to go and move that light. I've got a light that's sitting here and it keeps moving around. Hopefully you can see me okay anyway, guys. Yeah, the Mark 1 is the design features of the Mark 1 are definitely the thing that sells it to people. It's that Bauhaus styling. It's that the lines, the lack of stuck on grills, and all the lines are precise. It's got very aviation based what's the word I'm looking for, like design features. It's got that, it's like it's almost like the racing petrol cap. You've got like a racing petrol cap on the back of it. It's all has a little bit of a homage. It feels a little bit to like the racing aeroplanes of the 1930s, that sort of bygone era. I think it looks beautiful. And I think right now the Mark 1 it's quite timeless. The design is quite timeless. I think it looks amazing. Yeah, nothing but Mark 1 for me, because it was groundbreaking when it launched. Yeah, that's the thing, it's a design classic. Mark 2 started looking like a normal car, less radical in design. Yeah, I think we've got quite a lot of people of the same opinion, haven't we, on that? I think we've only down 12 people again, and hopefully that we haven't lost. I haven't frozen up, because I think people come and go, but I want to make sure it's not because I'm freezing up. But hopefully that all the people that matter are still here. That's the important thing. So hopefully I'm not freezing up. But yeah, so what about some of the models? This is a question that gets asked a lot. So in the UK, we have got the Quattro Sport, which we know about. We have got the like the 3.2 V6. We had that S-Line limited edition model that came out that caused a lot of controversy because of the costs that were associated with it, that then got amalgamated into the standard model in 2002 and 2003. But around the world, there has been unique limited edition models of the car that we never saw in the UK. And I don't know if people are aware of those. And if they are, we've got people on from the US. Maybe they want to share some of those models. The European models are also very different. There's a lot of specialist European models that came out. And of course, if you want to check out any of those specialist models from around the world that weren't just in the UK, highly recommend checking out my friend Frank's website. So you go to www.audi-tt.eu. So Frank is one of the fellow organisers of the International TT Show in April with me and Simon Matthews. And Frank has got a website dedicated to the Audi TT Mark 1. Lots of information that you may not know about. It's a Dutch website, but there's also an English translation option as well, so you can get all the English translation. So if you want to look at some of those features that maybe are only available in other countries, then go and check out Frank's website. The Mark 1 for me still looks and feels very futuristic. Yeah, absolutely. I think it could hold its own against any car, Stephen. It really can. Right now, if you saw that and I think, oh yeah, that's a nice car, it still looks amazing. Doesn't look dated. And that's the important thing. Most cars that came out in 1998, because that's what you've got to remember. And not only that, but it was at the Motor Show in 1995, so 31 years ago. Show me a car from that era, that mid 90s, that's driving on the road today. You don't go, oh, that looks like an old banger. They don't. They look so fresh still. They look such a timeless design. Absolutely right. That's exactly what it is. What we're going to talk about next on my list. This is the thing, because I'm doing it from notes tonight rather than doing it from freestyling because of the issues that have come up, which is probably good. But probably talk about some of the things that I've got coming up on the TT right now. That I've got the alternator job going on right now. I've got the bumper off. Again, we found that broken headlights bracket for the passenger side, which Mark is kindly going to send to me. So I appreciate that, Mark. Looking forward to that and getting that on the car so I can get it back together. I'm waiting for a part for the alternator, because what I'm not doing, I'm not swapping the whole alternator out, because I think it's the regulator that's failed in the alternator. So that's a part that bolts onto the alternator, and we're going to swap that out. So when we get the alternator out, we're going to swap that part out. We're going to bolt the new bit on. We're going to refit the alternator, and then we're going to test it and see if we're getting the charge to the battery. Hopefully we are, and that fixes the problem. It could be the brushes as well, unlikely, but if we do that, we have got the regulator swapped out, and hopefully we get the car back on the road. So obviously it's Monday today. I've got a few evenings this week, provided the part comes tomorrow. It's coming from AutoDoc, and that's probably something that we can talk about as well, is where are you getting your parts from for the Audi TT Mark 1. So if you think about the Stephen Miller, Basden boy here, Andy. I was originally from Chelmsford, so not too far away from you, buddy. But yeah, so we'll get this back on the road in the evenings this week, provided the AutoDoc sends us the parts. And then I can take this car to the show on Sunday that we're having in Rochester. So if you're looking for something to do this Sunday morning and you're based in the Southeast, why don't you come to the Rochester meet? It's at the Cineworld in Rochester, behind the Cineworld in Rochester, where we meet with all the Mark 1s, a few Mark 2s, and a few Mark 3s as well. Bring your car along and I will see you there. But we're talking about AutoDoc. So if you're looking for parts for your car that are no longer available, you can't find them in Euro Car Parts, you can't find them in GSF, you can't find them at your local car spare shop. AutoDoc is a German-based website that specialises in German car parts, and they pretty much have everything for the Audis, even the Mark 1s do. You can get hold of most things if you're looking for those consumable parts. If you're looking for parts that Mark can supply you with, the breaker parts aren't available anymore. Speak to Mark. Mark's on the chat right now. You're getting all your parts from OEM TT parts. Yeah, I don't think you have all the new parts. I know you've got a lot of new old stock, but that's my first place. So many gnats flying in here tonight. But if I'm looking for any parts that are no longer available, Mark's the place to go. But if you're looking for things like regulators, if you're looking for stuff that is just a general churn that you can't get in the sites, definitely check out AutoDoc, because it's quite a good feature, and that's where I got my regulator from. Autofocus, CarDoc. They're two different websites, neither of which are the same. So AutoDoc's parts, that's the thing, is you can't get them next day. It will be a few days. So I ordered my regulator on a Friday night. I got a notification this morning saying it had been dispatched, but it will be coming from Germany. So I'm expecting to see that no earlier than Wednesday, probably Thursday or even Friday. So I'm going to be running quite tight on getting that car back together. You mentioned carrying a spare corporate earlier. Don't forget the tool to remove them and stick that in your boot with the corporate. Yeah, I have got a set of core pack removers that I bought off Amazon. They're only about £15, and they are allowed to pull the plugs out. I have to say, after doing it with a tool, I think you can pull coil packs out by hand anyway. I don't think you need a special tool for it, to be honest. I can whip them out quite easy. As long as you make sure you pull them nice and straight out and you fit them nice and straight back in, it's not a problem. It's a bit of a bonus if you can use it without a tool. But there are tools that come and they like slot into the top of the tool, so you can pull it out. bit like pulling a cork out of a bottle, I guess, is probably the best way to describe how to do it. But definitely have a spare coil pack. And they are different. The 3.2 and the 225 are different. I'm going to grab you some coil packs now just to give you a show of what they look like. If I can find them. Okay. So, oh, don't tread on that. Don't tread on that. And don't get your hoodie dirty. You want a new hoodie, Andy. Don't tread on that. Right. So, sitting right here in my hand is a 3.2 coil pack. Can you see that? Now, the difference between a 3.2 coil pack and a 225 and a 1.8T is the 1.8T normally has a socket in the side of the coil pack, and it has like a black collar that you slide the thing over and then you can pull it out. Now, the 3.2 goes in from above like that. You see, there's the plug on the top of it. That's a 3.2 coil pack. And the tool for removing this is a really odd shaped, like rectangular bracket that goes round, so you can pull that straight out. So there is your 3.2 coil pack. I'm just trying to find you a 225 coil pack to compare it to, which I should have somewhere in the garage. He says, looking around, I've got so much in this garage. It's a bit like I reckon it's a bit like your workshop, Mark, of all your stuff. The difference is I bet yours is a lot tidier than mine. Don't bother with stock coils. R8 red dots are way more reliable. The R8 coil packs, Kenneth, are no different to the coil packs that come on the car. So I know you're saying they're more reliable. I'd say the general consensus is they're no different. The only difference is their colour, and they sit a bit higher out of the engine block. So I don't know if they are. I don't think they're any different in reliability wise, or any different in power or output. They're exactly the same. So that's probably not probably not spot on there, to be honest. I think there is, but there you go. But that is a 3.2 coil pack sitting right there. Be good if I had it on somewhere. Trying to turn my little torch off. How do I turn it off? Yeah, that's also another good bit of advice. If they're not broken, don't fiddle with them. Patrick Berthelot. Good evening. Do you work on QP? I'm not sure what QP is, but oh, there you go. Thank you, Mark. I think, Mark, you have just reaffirmed what I said about the R8 coil packs. Thank you, buddy, for putting that out there, because I don't know where that's another one of those myths, isn't it? TT myths that come out, things that happen. A bit like the rare manuals, the rare 3.2 manual, another myth that comes out. If they're not broke, yeah, definitely don't fiddle with them. There are things that I think you shouldn't touch on a car, right? If it's not broken. Coil packs, definitely one, because if you disrupt the coil pack and disrupt the plugs, you can cause breaks in the electrical connections, cause more problems than they're worth. So if the coil packs are good, try not to do it yet. But yeah, I mean, it might be better if maybe it's against your stock coils are probably aged anyway. So if you put an original 1.8T coil packs, and they'd probably be better as well. So I think it's probably you're comparing old to new there. So that's probably why. Yeah, leave them well alone. So something else that you want to leave alone, in-tank fuel filter for sure. Is that something you'd leave alone? Because I've had a fuel filter, I thought I had a fuel filter fail, and I did replace that, and it turned out that wasn't the problem anyway. And the problem was I had a crankshaft sensor, because the failing fuel filter and fuel pump, the fuel pump and the crankshaft position sensor can manifest the problem that looks the same. So essentially, the car starts hesitating, it starts stalling, it starts cutting out, and it's hot. And you think, oh, that's a bit weird. Maybe it feels like a fuel filter problem or a fuel supply problem. So I changed the pump, and the car worked fine again. But the reason the car worked fine again was because the time it took to replace the pump, the car had cooled down, and it works fine when it's cold. What the issue was with that car was it had a failing crankshaft position sensor, He says that as he reaches over. Here is a crankshaft position sensor for the car. This failed on both my 1.8T and the 3.2 V6. And the problems that manifest in this is doing that, starts bunny hopping or kangarooing, starts stalling at the lights, it starts stalling whenever it feels like, it starts just breaking down on you, and it feels like it's a fuel supply problem. It's actually this bad boy that sort of fails on the car. You can do it yourself, and I've got a video on how to change that yourself on my channel. So if you want to look into that, guys, then definitely check out how to change that, because that is definitely one to go. And again, if you are changing any sensors on the Audi TT 1, I cannot emphasize this enough. Do not buy cheap sensors off eBay. Buy original brand new sensors, because if you change it and put a bad sensor in, you're going to be back doing the same job. And a lot of these sensors aren't easy to get to, so you don't want to be back in there doing the same job again. So I can't recommend enough, buy a genuine sensor. That's one thing I'll give advice on. Oh, look, there's talking of OBD11, OBD2 code readers for the car. There is one. That's just a cheap one. It's about 10 or 12 pounds off Amazon. Brilliant little gadget. If you want one that just plugs in and pairs with your phone, you can wipe codes, definitely get one of those. They're all over Amazon. That's a great example of one. And I've got a link to one of those on my channel. I've got a video on OBD2 readers for beginners, and I talk all about those. But again, I don't get anything for sending those, by the way. Just recommended you get hold of them for your car. But also, because they're so cheap, leave one each. If you've got more than one car, stick it in your glove box and forget about it. So if you ever need it and you're out and about, you can get hold of it. So that's always good to do. Yeah, leave everything alone. Leave it all alone. Leave anything alone. The other thing I'd say leave alone is your PCV system. If you haven't got boost leaks, don't change pipes. And I'd also say, if you haven't got any boost leaks, don't put a catch can on, because you only really want to put a catch can on if you're at the stage that you need to do away your PCV system. People tend to do it because they think it's going to be a good way of getting the oil vapor out of the system, but all you're doing by replacing a lot of that is putting the remaining components that you're leaving behind under pressure. You're also risking not getting it all tight and done up properly, and you can just cause other problems around the engine bay if you start fiddling with stuff that you don't need to touch. So my advice is, if you don't need to fix something on your car, leave it well alone. I walked all over my paperwork. It's going to pick up there. Although, do you know what? I've walked that. Don't want to do that, because that's the wife's hoodie there. What else we're going to talk about? Oh yeah, that's going to talk about. For those of you that have done a PCV system, I feel like I know too well now. Yeah, a lot of people, just if they do start changing those pipes on it and putting silicone pipes on, because they want to make the pipes look a nice colour. That was a big thing maybe a few years ago, before parts got hard to get hold of. People were doing that, weren't they? They were changing their PCV system parts and putting different colour hoses on, that sort of thing, to make it look nice. But the trouble is, you start introducing more problems when you start putting working components under a bit of load and pressure. So yeah, I'd highly recommend, if it's not broken, leave it well alone. Don't change it for different colours. And what is your biggest regret in your TT so far? As well, guys, that's another question to add in the chat. What do you feel is your biggest regret on jobs you've done on the Audi TT? What have you done? Maybe as a mod that you regret. What have you done to the look and feel of the car? Maybe you regret. Or maybe have you sold a car and then regretted it? Let me know in the chat. I'd be interested to know what people are thinking about what they're doing tonight. So let me know in the comments, guys. And of course, if you're enjoying the feed tonight, then do make sure you give it a thumbs up. I see there are 11 thumbs up at the moment. And I think most people on tonight are already that are chatting are actual members. I notice a few people haven't come back this time. I think they probably got fed up with the two failures. I mean, Richard came back for the third time. If he is, hope you're out there, buddy. Taking every intake part off, finding a boost only for it to be the N75 valve. Yeah, the N75. That is always a bit of a challenge, isn't it? That is a bit of a pain. And guys, if you are out there, so there's 19 people out there, and I think we've got about, I'll just have a quick count up, see the names I've got in the chat there. There's probably about 7 or 8 members in the chat. So there's quite a lot of people that aren't members. But if you're not subscribed to the channel, there's 18 people at the moment. So if you're not a subscriber, maybe you're watching me for the first time tonight, then please do check out my channel. I'm Andycharger, and I cover all things Audi TT Mark 1 and also some Ford Fiesta Mark 7 and 7.5 jobs, because I have to look after the kids' cars as well now. So if you're interested in anything I'm talking about tonight, then please do make sure you check out my content. Give me a little subscribe if you're not already a subscriber to the channel. It's really appreciated. It really does help out with getting my content out to more people that we can share there. And of course, if you do want to go a bit further, you want to be part of the exclusive club membership club that we've got on the channel here, where you get a few perks such as discounted merchandise, and obviously support the channel with ideas, and also exclusive members only chat, which we're going to get going again shortly as well. So we will start that up with Christoph and I had a very cozy night for two that one night when we couldn't get the stream on for everybody else. But we are going to get those going as well. There's lots of things coming that I want you as members to be more involved in the channel. So you'll be helping me make decisions on what content we've got coming up as well. So if you want to be part of that exclusive club, guys, click the join link below as well and become part of my membership team, which is always great to get you involved. And of course, if you don't want to become a member and you think, you know what, Andy, you look cold tonight, I want to buy you a cup of tea to keep you warm, you're more than welcome to also give me a little super thanks in the chat tonight. Give me a little super thanks, buy me a cup of tea to warm my little cockles up. That would be great, because it is getting a bit nippy out here tonight, and I'm going to have to go in soon, I think. But again, the TT, every week we do this show, the TT International show gets a week close, doesn't it? And we are now, this Wednesday, we are just 7 weeks away from going to Ypres. It's come around so fast now. I can't believe how quick that's come around. But it is absolutely flying along now. So yeah, 7 weeks away until we go on, was it 6 weeks? No, I think it's 7 weeks. I'm just trying to do a bit of maths. It's 7 weeks on Wednesday that we go to Ypres for the International TT show. The International TT show. So if you've not checked out my video on all the event details, have a look on my channel. There's a whole video dedicated to the event details of that. So definitely check it out. Michael Rosen Jensen. Hi, my dad has an Audi TT 3.2 V6. Nice. What colour car has he got, Michael? Let me know what colour car it is and what he's got. My stance plus callovers to crash, too crashy. 7 weeks, 5 days. Oh, there you go. To the show, 7 weeks and 2 days until I leave for the show is Christoph. So yeah, that is coming around mighty fast now. Can't wait for that. So next week's show will be 6 weeks to go, which will be brilliant. It is grey. Okay, so there's a few different greys. There is Dolphin Grey, I think, is one of the greys. There is also I don't think Nardo Grey was on the Mark 1. I think that was on the Nardo Grey was on the Mark 2. Riddler on YouTube. Question: slow punch or buckled alloy? How to tell the difference? If air escaping from where the alloy rim meets the tyre, is it a buckled alloy? Can be. It could just be a badly fitted tyre. So Riddler on YouTube, what you can normally find is that an older tyre may become brittle or perished, could be leaking on the rim for that reason. You could find that it's become, it becomes not brittle. What's the word I'm looking for? It just becomes very rigid, I suppose, the best way to describe it. And you'd probably find if you took it to a tyre garage, they can either de-seat the tyre for you, put it back on, see if it sits. You might better do that for like £10-15. Or yeah, badly. Christoph saying, is that the same thing? Badly fitted tyre. There we go. My dad and me like your videos. It's good, and we like TT meets TT. That's great, Michael. Appreciate that, buddy. I'm glad you enjoy that series. It's a series that I've not added to for a while, and I do want to start that up again this year because I meet lots of TTs, and it's always great to get some different cars involved to tell different stories. So I'm glad someone that's long time since someone's mentioned TT meets TT to us. That's put a smile on my face, Michael, that people are still getting some enjoyment from that series. So, guys, if you are not, if you've not checked out that series of videos on my channel, there's a playlist dedicated to TT meets TT, and it's all unusual, different TTs I've met over time, where I meet the users and we talk about them. Stephen Craddock, thanks for giving me a £4.99 super thanks there, buddy. You are a legend. That will allow me to have a cup of tea. So, guys, really appreciate that. Thanks, Stephen. Absolute legend. You're already a channel member as well, so that makes a massive, massive difference to us. Thank you very much, sir. Stephen Harper, top of the morning to you, son. How are you doing? Joining from Ireland. How are you doing tonight, Stephen? Stephen is also a fellow Mark 1 YouTuber, guys. So if you don't, if you're looking for extra content to watch, you're enjoying the sort of things I'm putting out, and you also want to watch other Mark 1 content, check out Stephen Harper VW right now. I'm going to give that a little like. I'm going to give Mrs. Jugs, welcome back again. Did you drop off? Hopefully you're back, and you're. We're just talking about going to eat a few minutes ago, so hopefully you're back on. So, guys, if you're enjoying what you're watching tonight, make sure you give that feed a little like, get it shared out to as many people as possible. Definitely like, share, get it out to people, stick it in the Facebook groups, because obviously people were probably on the original feed where the original link was. The link has since disappeared, and then, of course, if people are trying to get back on, they won't get back on here. So go out there and post the link to this video in YouTube. Stick it all over social media. Let's get people back in, because obviously we had that crash out earlier, which is not great, thanks to my son moving the router, which is we'll be having words over. But I've gone out and moved it again, put it back to where it should be. And since then, if I could find some wood to touch, it has been okay. Just heard the girls come back. They've been at the cinema tonight. Just had the door shut on the Tesla. So I'm hoping I'm going to hear them come back through. I'm going to ask for a cup of tea. Now, Stephen's bought me a cup of tea. I'm going to get him to make it. But yeah, so is that, I'm just trying to work out. So this was, I think that was off the rear bush. So that, see that, guys? So that is a bush off the rear subframe. So you know that rear subframe that I've got in the garage that we've been stripping down? Well, that is one of the rear bushes off it. And there was a bit of a pig to take off. I don't know if you can see, I'm going to see if I can show you, but you can see there's almost like a two-part bush. It's like a solid bit here, and this is all rubber. And I think they just push together. Can't move that, but that is one of the bushes. Real pig to get out. I mean, that is now all off. It's hanging up. Now I'm looking down there, it's hanging up, that subframe. These are also, just to give you an idea, if you ever get to the stage that you take your front subframe off, these are the bushings off the front subframe. They're like a little metal and rubber disc. Now, these don't press out in the typical way that you press bushings out of a subframe. These just, you put a screwdriver through there and lever it off, and these pop out. So don't try and press these out as one thing. They won't come out. You put a screwdriver in, lever it, and it comes out, and the same thing underneath. I know a story of someone wrecking two front subframes, removing these because he didn't know what he was. That sounds wrong. He didn't know how to remove the subframe bushes, and he tried to push them out, doing it the way he thought was right. Of course, they wouldn't move. Wreck the subframe. Did it twice. It wasn't me. I just like to add, but it's a good friend of mine that did that, and I won't mention his name. But yeah, what else have we got on there? So Stephen, do you want to sort of tell us what you are working on the Mark 1 right now? Because I know that you've got some videos coming out on the Mark 1. So why don't you chuck in the chat what you've got going right now? Give your channel a little plug. And guys, if you haven't checked out at Stephen Harper VW, make sure you give him a follow, because he does some great content. For the Audi TT Mark 1, my fellow YouTube brethren, you know, I can recommend a few people. I'm sure many of you follow BWSTT, Bryn. He does some fantastic content on the Audi TT Mark 1. His videos go back for many years. He's a much bigger channel than me. He's probably got almost 3 times the number of members that I've got, subscribers that I've got. He does some great content, great how-tos and fixes. So what he doesn't know about TT is not worth knowing. Obviously, you've got the Parrot Bros, and Dom's not as active as he once was in the community, but his videos are all still there for you as a resource library. Definitely check out the Parrot Bros videos. They're really good. Stephen Harper VW you've got on here. He's doing some content as well. Always got some good takes on how to do stuff for the Mark 1. You've also got Travis Abate in the US, TT Travis YT. He's doing a great build on his car in the US, some great features. You've also got Hunter Direction, who did some content on the Mark 1. He's now got a fleet of cars, and he's gone stratospheric with his channel. He's gone massive, but he doesn't really comment too much or do much content on the Mark 1 anymore. So he's moved on to other members of the VAG group. I'm currently eating dinner with Teresa. Give her a shout out for letting me listen to you while eating. Teresa, thank you very much. A fine Portuguese rose, letting my friend Stephen listen to me while he's having his dinner. And great. So Stephen did a great little video walking around a small car show in Portugal, which I watched over the weekend. So if you want to see a car show in Portugal, go and check out Stephen's video on that as well. Hopefully that gets you a bit of grace to eat your dinner, Stephen, while you're watching and listening to me. So yeah, it would be really great if you and Teresa came to a show in the UK at some point as well, Stephen. Maybe you can convince her to come on a little romantic break to Ypres in a few weeks and come and see the great cars we've got on display there, taking some of the cultures of Belgium as well. That'd be great to have you along. To be honest, I follow Stephen and Dom, but your videos on repairs seem easy to follow, like the pickup pipe film. That's really kind of you to say there, Mrs. Jugs. I try and make my videos straightforward. I try not to miss all the steps out. I think what a lot of the videos tend to do is they'll say, we're going to change a pickup pipe, and then they'll cut to like the sump off and then the pickup pipe. But you need to know all the steps to get there. You need to know what to remove. And that's a bit like this alternator video we've got going on right now. So what I've done is I've got it to the stage where we've got the bumper off without filming it. But what I'm going to do in the video is I will reference my video on removing the bumper. But once we've got the bumper off, then the video will talk about all the little components I've removed to get it to this stage. So we've got, if I just back this light up, get some more light on the engine bay. So right now, obviously, that's much better, isn't it? We can see more of the engine bay now. So this is the slam panel at the front that you've got. And to get the slam panel away from the car, there are quite a few things you need to do. So you need to remove these, got them here, one either side. You've got these big spline bolts either side at the top. You need to remove those. There's also a 10mm hex bolt on either side of the slam panel to remove as well. Of course, the slam panel won't move until you remove 3 bolts either side of this crash panel here. You've got this crash bar that goes across. You have to remove those, and that lets you bring them away from the actual chassis rails, and then you can bring the whole of the slam panel forward. So hopefully that helps you there. Yeah, Andy is my go-to TT guy for the best step-by-steps. That's brilliant. I love to hear that. Thank you very much. That's a great little Riddler on YouTube. That's a fantastic. Thank you for that, buddy. Really appreciate it. I'm currently chasing, I reckon, is a mysterious coolant leak, and it's not the usual leaks. Oh, wonder where that's going for. I did see actually someone had put up in the one of the groups, they were chasing a coolant leak, and they'd said that they were. I think they'd gone shopping, and when they moved their car, they found a pool of water under the car. They checked the coolant, and the coolant was fine. And they drove home, and the coolant was still fine, but they were concerned about the water leak. And a lot of people had said could be condensation from the condenser where you've got your air conditioning going. But they said they weren't using air conditioning. But I still think this time of year, I think if people have got heating going, coolant, whatever going on the system, I think it can still build up there and cause condensation to sort of end on the floor. So I don't think if your coolant is still sitting nice in the tank, I don't think you need to worry too much about coolant leaks. They always, I always give it a little taste and see if it's sweet, like coolant. Probably not the most sensible thing to do if I have to, if I'm overly critical of myself. But yeah, it's what it is. But yeah, so if you've got any comments for me, guys, put it in the chat. And again, if you're enjoying what you're watching, then definitely give it a little double tap on the screen. Is it double tap or is that TikTok? but definitely give it a little thumbs up. There's a little thumbs up button. I can see that thumbs up button there. Give it a little thumbs up if you haven't already. If you've already done it, don't do it again though, because it will take your thumbs up off. You say you should run your AC once a week for 10 minutes to keep the gas going. Yeah, and I think a degassed, not degassing, but your gas will naturally over time will start to fail. So it makes such a difference having a car regassed, and it's about £50 to get it done. But I'd highly recommend getting your AC regassed every couple of years because it makes such a difference in the summer. Obviously, if you've got a Roadster, not so important because you're it's no idea if my AC works. Guess I'll find out when it's too late. You can normally tell. I mean, you can even in the winter you can run it cold, run it hot, then run it cold and see if it goes cold straight away. Because if you've heated it up and then you turn it to cold, even in the winter, it'll take a little while to cool back down. So if it goes cold quick enough, you can tell by the cold air that comes out if it's AC air as well. But guys, if you've got any, I see some lovely comments there about my channel. But if there's any other TT YouTubers that you're aware of, you want to share in the chat, happy to share other people's channels as well and see what people are doing. And maybe even in the chat, if you've got a YouTube channel of your own, maybe it's not TT focused, and you want to share what you do, then please put that in the chat as well. I'm always happy to engage with people and get people's noticed out there as well. It's always good to share the love and talk about what we all do. So this feed has been live for 56 minutes now, guys and girls, as well. So we haven't lost it yet, which is really good. So I come in and out of different lights, don't I? Here, it's like I've got a yellow light there, and I've got a white light there, and then I've got shadow there. Let's spin that one round. There you go. So I'm back into the proper light. I'm trying to lose the shadows. I'm trying to find out my ideal location of where I should stand so you can see me. There you go. I think that's pretty good. You can also see the hoodie's nice and clearly now, can't you? So this is the first blue hoodie I've had. You've probably seen the other ones I've got with the big logo on the front. This is my first blue one I've had for a couple of years, and it does match my glasses almost. It's not quite there, but it's pretty much there. So but yeah, it's come out really well, this one. The last few I've got too many hoodies. I might do a hoodie giveaway at some point, I think, just to get rid of all my hoodies, because I tend to go, oh, I like that color, I like that color, I like that color, and then build them up and then never wear them. So I've got a pink one, I've got a blue one, I've got a red one, a green one, a black one, a grey one, two papaya ones. I've got the bright orange one. I've got a dark blue, a royal blue. Some of them have got the embroidery one. These are the printed ones. So these are I think these are actually nicer than the embroidery ones, to be honest. But is what it is. But it's also got the logo on the back. Now, of course, this is the TT International hoodie. But the one we also do one for the channel that's got this logo on the back as well. So you get a big logo and a little logo rather than that one. So if you wanted just a general Andycharger one, we have those on the store as well. And I think they're right now they're £30 for a hoodie plus £5.99 delivery. But if you're a channel member, they're £5 cheaper. So channel membership, I think right now is it £3.99 for channel membership. So if you wanted a hoodie, if you're thinking about buying a hoodie, it's probably worth you joining as a channel member and then buying your hoodie, because you'll get it at a discounted rate. Got to go, Andy. I'll catch up tomorrow on my treadmill. Thanks, Phil. Great to have you along, buddy, as always. And thanks for our email. Phil and I have a few email conversations over time during the week. We send things. So again, for my members, if you want to contact me via email, always happy to have conversations with you as well. It's another perks of being a channel member. So yeah, have a good time. Speak to the treadmill tomorrow. Although I won't be there in person, I guess I'll be in your headphones. But yeah, guys, if you've got any questions for me on the car, any questions over jobs you've got coming up, chuck it into the thing. Oh, here we go. A Riddler on YouTube question. If you get wheel spacers, do you get an extended locking nut also? Not necessarily, because I think that depending on what your wheel nuts are doing, so on the spacer idea, I think some of the spacers you bolt to the hub and then you bolt your wheel to the spacer, I think. And some spacers, you bolt the wheels through the spacer into the hub. I think I might be wrong. No, they bought. Sorry, Andy, they bought a C, mate. They bought a C, those hoodies. But you, of course, if you're a channel member, you get you know. Well, maybe I'll buy you a beer in Belgium. You can buy me a beer in Belgium. I'll do it that way. Yes, been through the pain. What are you thinking of getting? Oh yeah, be interested. You guys having a good chat there. Richard Stevens, evening Andy. Good idea. Give one or two away. You can't wear them all. Yeah, I agree. I can't wear them all. The trouble is they've been worn, haven't they, by me? So that could go one or two ways. Do you want to wear something that someone else has worn before? But do you want to wear something that I've worn? Probably not. But can you see my little scar I've just gained on my head? Can you see that? I'll tell a story about that in a bit. That was my Saturday morning incident with a sniper scope. But yeah, talk about that in a minute. Random question: does anyone have some exhaust brand to recommend for an upgrade on 3.2 for the EU? Everything on the web is from the UK, so it's not legal here where I am. Do you know what, Blob? If you want to drop me an email directly at Andy_Charger@hotmail.com, I'm going to get in touch with a friend of mine who has got a beautiful Misano Red 3.2 V6, a guy called Alex, and he had his exhaust fitted in Germany. He's got a 3.2. It was a custom built exhaust he had done in Germany. So I'm thinking if he went to Germany to have that exhaust done, it must be legal there, which means it's probably legal where you are. Drop me in a message and I'll try and put you in touch with Al, and he could probably help you on that. Written on YouTube, for 15mm spacers, you want 40mm bolts. Then just do the math relative to the spacers you're getting. Okay, that's a good shout on that one. For my 225, is it 15 on the rears? See people getting extended wheel nuts. I think, if I remember rightly, the standard setup for spacers on a 1.8, a Mark 1 is 15 on the front and 20 on the rears. I think that seems to be the go-to spacer setup. I might be wrong, but I think it's 15 on the front, 20 on the rears. I've got 20 guys on the moment, 16 people giving it a thumbs up. So remember, guys, definitely give it a thumbs up if you're enjoying it. Let's get this feed out to as many people as possible that we talk about tonight. And where are we looking at? Just trying to find. There was a section I wanted to talk about, and I'm trying to find where it is. We've done that. Because this is what happens. I come out here to talk to you guys, and then of course I forget our things I'm going to talk about. But yeah, but obviously I want to. We talked about being members, and I want you to help me really grow this channel, guys, as members. I want you to come up with those ideas of how we can grow this and make this an even a bigger thing, and be a real support network. Because I think you probably noticed being part of this tonight, and the questions that are coming in, and everyone's here asking questions, it's becoming almost like a little drop-in center for a live question and answer session. And that's what I want it to be, because there's so many people that are asking questions online, and a lot of the information that gets bounced back in the group, if you look at the chat, it's often factually incorrect, and there's a lot of people giving advice. Whereas here, I think you've got enough people that if you ask a question, that the information you come back, people will then learn to agree with, or they'll say, no, that's actually wrong, and they'll call it out live for you. So you get a much faster response time. You haven't got to wait for hours for people to come back. I do highly recommend to use the Audi TT forum, though. I don't use that enough, but it's a really great resource for people to find information out. But yeah, definitely check that out. Does space only apply when you're changing the wheels? No, you can put spacers on at any time. Just to go on that, if you want it, it's the reason people put spacers on is to have a wider stance of the car, really, Richard, because the TT wheels, if you look at them, they sit just inside the arches. So people trying to space them out just to the edge of the arches, just by putting those small spacers on, gives you much better, apparently better road handling, because you've got a wider stance, better handling. But don't forget, it's putting your suspension load out much further. And then, of course, what you can do on the rears, particularly if you put them out, stagger them out too far, you end up with the wrong toe on the rear wheels. puts a lot of the top arms, if you lower the car as well, can put the arms under a lot of load as well. So you need to get adjustable arms to bring the toe in as well. So there's a lot of things you need to do and to consider. My car lowered with spacers if you need trailing arm bushes with toe. There you go. Exactly what I just said. So there you go. That's always great to sort of talk about things that you need to do, the factor into that as well, because you need to adjust the camber. That's the word I'm thinking of those wheels if you start lowering cars and spacers. But yeah, so hopefully that's all good. And we've got now, we've got 19 people on at the moment, 17 thumbs up. So guys, definitely if you enjoy my lives, guys, I say I'm live every Monday night at 7:30. Tonight we had a couple of false starts because the feed dropped out a couple of times, and then we came back with this third feed, which is now live, and we've been running for 65 minutes now, which is really good. But if you enjoy what you watch, then definitely come back every Monday at 7:30. And if you've just come across my channel for the first time tonight, guys, then definitely think about subscribing, because there's a load of content on the Audi TT Mark 1. There's a lot of people in the chat here that are already members as well. So they've been friends of mine and channel followers for a long time. So I want to thank them all for all the support they give me as well. And again, we want to really grow this Mark 1 community, because it's a fantastic scene here in the UK and around the world. And I want to help people get the message out about the car and see what we can do to really grow the scene. So whatever you need to ask, please ask away. Please also send your any comments you've got. If you want to get in touch with me directly, you can email me at the channel at Andy_Charger@hotmail.com. Again, you can pick up your merchandise by doing that as well. And yeah, it's just an all-around great community that we're building, and it's all down to you guys out there as well. So this week, again, for the members, there will be a poll coming on the channel this week, asking about what the next video should be. Don't forget, if you're a member, you also get your name in my video content as well, so you'll see that popping up. And of course, members have got green names here in the chat, so you can see as a member here in the chat also. So yeah, thank you very much for your support. But what have we got now? We've got 18 people on right now. So if there's anything you want me to cover off, guys, that I've not covered about the car tonight or Audi TT Mark 1s in general, let me know. If you've got any questions you've got coming up about the various meets we've got coming up in the next few weeks, please put those in the chat as well. Also, Powerflex do a 0.5 degree toe adjust bush part, right? For the toe adjust, blimey, that's a very precise part there. All sounds good though. So please put it in the chat. Oh, that was one thing I was going to talk about. It would be nice to arrange a meet for Mark 1s in the Midlands. It would, yeah. It's I think the trouble is, for me to get to the Midlands, it's I'm just on the wrong side of the M25 to get to anywhere north of London. So for me to get there, and Andy, I know you from coming to my house in the summer last year, you know that for a fact, that I'm right around the M25 and I'm right down into Kent. So for me to get there, it's, and to arrange it and find a venue and all the rest of it that goes with it, unfortunately, I'm just too busy to put on meets around elsewhere in the country. What I'm not too busy to do, obviously, is put a meet on right here in my back garden. And that is something that we've got coming up this summer. And not only once, but we're going to be holding it at least twice this summer to make sure we've got everyone catered. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be releasing a date for the first edition of Springfest this week. It's going to be coming out this week. I'm going to get the initial comms out to people. So what I'm going to be doing this week is, as you know, Springfest gets well oversubscribed every year. I've got room for 40 TTs in the garden. And what I would like to say, and this is the first announcement I'm making of this tonight, is my channel members, you will get first refusal to come to Springfest. So Springfest will be opened up to channel members first, and from then it will be opened up to subscribers, and from then to everybody. So if you want to be guaranteed a place at Springfest this year, you know what you need to do. You need to be a channel member. Many of you on here already are channel members, so you'll be getting first priority entry to Springfest, which I'm looking forward to holding and getting many of you here again this year. It's always a great event. We always have a fantastic turnout of cars. It's catered for by my wife's company, the Springbank Kitchen. She does all the catering for it, which is just out of this world. Her cakes and savoury bakes or something else. So if you want to be part of that, and I've even built a toilet in the garden. So we've actually got a purpose-built toilet for Springfest and other car shows that we hold here at home now. So it's a very luxurious toilet as well. I like to say it's not a portaloo, it's a proper toilet. So yeah, it's all catered for. So that will be happening in this summer. I think it's early indications it's going to be in May, in late May. So I will be putting a communication out to members in the members only post on YouTube. So keep your eye out for that this week, guys. It will be coming out. We can also talk about that more at Ypres as well. And again, for those of you that are coming to Ypres, if you've not yet booked your meal for the Friday night, please let me know. Vanessa, I know you're out there. You were out there earlier, and I know you were having trouble hearing back from the Trumpet. They haven't messaged me back directly. I don't know if they've messaged you now to confirm your booking, but if not, drop me a message about that anyway, and I'll we can sort something out. But I know that you've emailed them and I've emailed them for you, so hopefully that's all been sorted out. But the Trumpet meal, guys, 7:30 Friday the 10th of April in Ypres. You got to be there. That is just, for me, it's not as good as it is as good as the car show, but it's that is one of the highlights of that weekend for me, is getting around, speaking to you all, meeting you all for the first time, meeting old friends that I've not seen for some time, and it's just great to get together and have a good chat about all things TT. No confirmation from me yet. Okay, I've got an idea about that, Vanessa. I think you'll be okay. Drop me an email and I'll send you a message back about that, because I've got an idea on it. We'll sit on the street. No, you won't have to do that. Trust me. I've got a plan though. So for you and your husband, and which you're sorted. Put it that way, because there's definitely a booking for you. Even they haven't come back to me, so we'll sort that. My dad's 3.2 is the colour Ava Silver. Okay, so you said it was grey earlier, but yeah, it looks grey, doesn't it? So do you know, Michael, why it's called Ava Silver? Do you know why that silver colour is Ava Silver? And do you know the heritage and the roots of where the Audi TT Mark 1 came from? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But if not, I will share that with you right now. So back in 1991, Audi were looking to build a two-door roadster, essentially a two-door sports coupe for the market. They had an idea. Would there be a market for that? So they went off and they built a concept car. Okay, they built this Audi TT. They built this Audi concept car, and it was made out of almost like mirror-like aluminium. This car, and if you go and Google it, you'll see it. And the car was called the Audi Avis, and it was made in this mirror-like metal, 1991, and it created quite a buzz when it went out to the motor show. And from that, Audi decided this has got a bit of something about it. We can make something here. So then they went away, and then their design team put the idea together, and that's where the concept of the Audi TT came from in the 1995 Frankfurt Motor Show. So that's where the TT sort of the origins of that came from. And of course, the TT appeared at the Frankfurt Motor Show, and it went down a storm. And then from that, Audi decided there's enough of a buzz around the world in the markets for us to build this, and they took that concept away. They refined it a little bit, and some of the things they did change on that concept is they put rear windows in the coupe, because there was no rear windows in the coupe originally. It was very dark in the car, and even though they've put those rear windows in, it's still not particularly bright in that cabin anyway. And of course, then it launched in the market in 1998. But the original car, if you go and Google that, maybe don't Google it now because obviously you're watching me, but afterwards, Google that car, the Audi Avis, and you'll see it. And once you've had a look at that car, look at it and say to yourself, what car does that look like? Because it doesn't look like a TT. Well, it does look like, and it looks like almost a spitting image recreation of an early version of an Audi R8. So you can see where the Audi R8 came from. It's almost like an Audi Avis, but a much later version. It's very spooky to have a look at that. That's what I always think. It's a real cool car, that the Audi Avis. Shame it never went to production then, because it would have been well ahead of its time. But maybe that's a good thing, because maybe it was so ahead of its time, it may not have caught on as much as if it had come out much later. But yes, so that's a little story about the Audi Avis. I'm full of useless information about Audis, aren't I? Really, but hopefully some of them are interesting to you as well. You are enjoying some of my stories. There's also videos that I'm covering this off. So if you want to go and look at this history, the design history of this beautiful car, I cover it in quite a lot of depth. It's called, if you look up the Audi TT Mark 1 story on my channel, the design history of the Audi TT Mark 1 on my channel, you'll find a video. It features the Audi Avis in it as well, and it has the whole design history behind this car. And interestingly, I did quite a deep dive into that. So I looked into the design team of Freeman Thomas, led the design team as well. I can't remember the name of everyone off the top of my head right now. Anyway, the design team that's behind it, that came up with the concept of this beautiful car, the interior, the exterior, and the power plant. People think of it as a German car, but the German part of it probably ends at the company, right, that own the brand, because the car itself was designed in California, believe it or not. Freeman Thomas's team were based in California, and I can't remember the name of this guy, but I never heard of him before today. And apparently he featured quite heavily in the design of the car, and people say he's always forgotten from the story. And I went off and Googled his name, and he came up, and yeah, he was involved in it. And he, on his LinkedIn page, there's a picture he's got put up there of where he's saying something along the lines of, "We've got the go ahead to go ahead with this from the team. Let's get you out to the team as soon as possible," from Freeman Thomas. So that's quite amazing. So he definitely is part of that team. I'd never heard of it today, but the car was designed in California, and the team were flying backwards and forwards between Germany and California. But then the actual styling refinements were done in Italy as well by one of the design houses there. So Italy, California, and then the car goes to production, and it's built in Hungary. So it's not even built in Germany. So the German part of the engineering of this car really is just in the brand. The rest of it is done elsewhere. So definitely watch that video on it, because it's got some great information. It's about a 20-minute watch. So if you want something to drop off to sleep with tonight, definitely check out that video, and obviously give it a little like as well. Have you done or going to do how to remove the headlights? There are no headlights there. I can do a video on how to remove that for you, because to get the headlights off, the bumper needs to come off. And to remove the headlights, there are just 2 bolts at the top. There's one at the front here as well. But also the important bolt is inside the inner wing. There is this bracket. What have I done with my bracket? Where have I put my bracket? Here's an intact one. This is off the passenger side, because this is the driver's side, because the passenger one is broken. So you can see this bracket. So this is bolted to the slam panel, and then there's like a little peg on the headlight that goes into this, that secures it into position. And obviously you can't really wiggle it out without removing this bracket. So the best thing to do is undo this bracket in the wing, take this off completely, and then you can just remove the headlight. The 2 bolts in the top, 1 at the front. Make sure you've got the bumper off. Undo that in the passenger wing, and that will get your headlight off. So hopefully, Richard, that covers that off for you. Evening all, any tips for unblocking rotor drain tubes? Today's torrential rains highlight the issue even more than normal. Yeah, SB, great point to raise on that. So on your Roadster, if you put your hand around the back of your driver's seat, under the sort of where the roof is joining together, you will find there is a little plastic tray either side of the car. Very shallow tray. And what it does, the TT roof is designed by nature to leak, or not leak, but to drain, let's call it. And the idea being these 2 little plastic trays, either side of the car, they've got a hole in the middle with a little cross going across it. which is that cross is there to stop stuff going down it. Essentially, it doesn't do a great job, but it does do a job. And what you find is, if you put your hand in there and just make sure that tray has got nothing in it, because what you tend to find is a leaf will end up sitting over that hole, right? And the leaf blocks it up, and then no water goes down the tube. So then those little plastic trays start overfilling, and water goes into your void, which then descends into the CCM void, which then causes your CCM to get corroded and doesn't work. So make sure those two little plastic trays are empty of any rubbish to start with, because a lot of the issue about drain tubes, it's not the drain tube, because the reason water is leaking into your car is because that little plastic tray is blocked, not because the drain tube's failed. Because of course, if the drain tube is, because that goes through the bodywork, don't forget, so it shouldn't be going into your void anyway. So they don't tend to get blocked too badly. What people tend to do, if they get like a metal, like a coat hanger and stuff, they start jabbing it through that hole. And the issue you've got then is, though, those drain tubes are made out of almost like polythene all the way down, with a spring going through them. Easy to perish that polythene tube, because don't forget those tubes are sort of 20 odd years old now, so you could easily damage those. So I'd recommend that. What I'd also do on the Audi roof is make sure the window is sealed, because even if your drain tubes are unblocked and those trays are empty, if the roof window is leaking at all, doesn't make a difference. It's not going to drain. It's just going to go straight into your void, and that's going to go into your CCM, and it's going to cause problems. So you've got to make sure the window is sealed for starters, and then check things like your little plastic trays as well. So that's what I can say on that. Mark 1 style is the best way. Mark 2 owners, always nice, but when you see a Mark 1 go pot, yes, absolutely. Cheers, mate. Yeah, thank you, Richard. No problem. Any idea on rough cost to replace vacuum hoses? No idea, Ray, on that. If you're talking about the PCV system side of that, if they are causing a problem, that normally the best way to get around that and get away from that is to put a catch can system in instead. But it's a big upheaval to do that. Thanks for the Avis story. I totally forgot the Avis concept, but nice story. Yeah, no worries, buddy. The trays are currently bird baths. Window seal is sound. Okay. If the trays are bird baths, make sure those little cross holes are definitely open and nothing in them. But if you're finding they're not, then I'd say proceed with caution if you're going to put anything down the drain tubes. Getting the drain tubes out, I've not done. A good friend of mine, Ben Griffiths, Ben of the North TT. If you check out his channel on YouTube, he's done a great video on replacing drain tubes, where he's replaced it for something completely different. So definitely worth checking him out. Michael Rosalind, I remember the orange papaya concept car from the same time also. Yeah, so there is a it's not a papaya one, but there is a car that came out in, I want to say 2001. So they're 1999, 2001. Again, there's a video on my channel. Keep going back to that. I've covered a lot of stories on the Audi TT1 on my channel, but there is a video on my channel called The First Audi TT RS. If you go and search it up, you'll come up with a car, and it was it's not papaya, it's actually an Imola yellow TT, but it looks like a TT, it feels like a TT, but it's not a TT, because what it actually is, it's got a twin turbo B5 lump out of an Audi S4, an RS4 in it. So it's got the running gear of an RS4 and the body of a TT shoved over the top of it, and it's been heavily modified to make it fit. But it's a 2.7 V6 twin turbo. It is seriously rapid. Only one ever made. It lives as part of the Audi Heritage, Audi Tradition collection, I think. And it comes out very rarely. It sits in the collection in the Audi Tradition Museum. It came to the UK once. It was here for the Vorsprung show a few years ago, which I went to and saw it with my own eyes. I've done a deep dive video into it. Absolutely rapid. It's done loads of miles around the Nürburgring. It's done a lot of miles, that car. It's a great car to look at. But even as far as when you look at it on the TT, where the top mounts and the struts are for the suspension, The turrets have been brought forward because it doesn't fit. So, and even the headlights sit further forward. The bumper's even changed. So it looks like a TT, but doesn't quite look like a TT. But definitely worth checking out that video if you want to watch some more stories on the TT. Again, my channel's got a lot of content based on the Mark 1 that's not just how-to guides, it's also the stories that go around it as well. So definitely check it out. Quite a few of you on now that are new people to me tonight on the live feed. So if you're joining tonight for the first time, welcome along. Be great to have you along next week as well, and the many other weeks that we're going to be doing this as well, because it is proving a popular show. We get a lot of people on throughout the evening watching me talking about the TT. And but if you've got any questions for me, chuck it in the chat. So we've been live for, well, this feed's been live for 85 minutes. So we'll see if we can get this to 100 minutes, shall we? Do another 15 minutes. If you guys are happy for me just waffling on and telling you stories about the car and things, or if you've had enough of me, then let me know, and I'm happy to wind up, because it's getting a bit cold now. So, but yeah, I haven't got my heat and gilet on tonight. I've just got my lovely new, love this new hoodie actually. It's actually really quite comfy. It's all it could do with being is maybe a little bit warmer in like the -10 or whatever it is in my garage tonight, but it's really quite comfy. And I've actually gone down a size as well. So this is a smaller size for me, because I have been, as I talked about at the end of my show last week, I've been on the Monjaro since the end of November for health reasons rather than for aesthetics. I had high blood pressure, and I was pre-diabetic, on the verge of being classed as diabetic with the scores. And after being on Monjaro for the since the 1st of November, I had to pay for it myself because I wasn't at high enough level for the NHS to pay for it, so I did it myself. And I've got my BMI down from the obese category, which I was in, to just the overweight, but I'm only just overweight now, so I'm doing quite well there. I've lost nearly 3 stone. I have my blood pressure is back in normal range, and thanks to my doctor last week, I've been told I can come off my blood pressure medication, which is brilliant. I've got my diabetes risk is back in the normal range, so it's all healthy. Judging by the amount of sport I play, you think I would be quite healthy anyway, but it's all good news for me. So, and of course, all my clothes are now smaller sizes, which is great. It means I've got to buy new hoodies, which is great as well. So hopefully, for those of you who haven't seen me for a while, when you see me at the International TT show in Ypres, I'll probably look quite different to the last time you saw me, or hopefully I will. But a lot of people are saying that I do look quite different already, and I feel great. I feel alive. So what's happening to the Vorsprung show? What happened to it? Well, originally it was Audi's in the Park. The guy that owns it. I can't remember his name. What was his name? Funny little guy that runs it. Nice guy, but yeah, he came out and moaned a few times, didn't he, about people weren't prepared to come and pay, and was moaning about the sort of like the not moan. That sounds wrong. It wasn't moaning. It was talking about the limiting factors of putting on a show, which is stressful, and it is a pain in the backside because you know, it is a pain to put on a show at times. Although if you have the right size show and the right style show and aim it for the right reasons, it's worth doing. If you're putting on a show to make a load of money, you're doing the wrong thing. If you're putting on a show to make your fortune, you're doing the wrong thing. If you're doing it for any other reason, to enjoy meeting people, seeing people, enjoying looking at cars, you're doing it for all the wrong reasons. Okay, so that's just my thoughts on putting on a show. And I know that from doing the show in Ypres, where we have nearly 300 cars now. We don't do it to make money. We do it to meet people. No one gets anything out of it. It's a great weekend away. The show in my garden that we do, it's just me giving back to you guys and having you all come to my house and having a show and getting together. Love doing that as well, meeting people. That's the reason to do it. People that are putting on a show to make money, not the sort of thing you want to be doing. So anyway, that's just my thoughts on it. I was thinking about the cheaper concept car and then the Avis concept car from the same period at the time. Smaller engine and looks like more like a TT than the Avis concept. Believe it, but not sure about that one, buddy. There you go. See, the extra large hoodies will have to go. Oh yeah, Richard, they definitely will now, buddy. Hi, Jack. I'm good. Should you not be in bed, Jack? It's 9:45. Sure, you should be in bed because you've got school tomorrow. I'm sure you should be in bed. Um, but yeah, so the TT shows that we've got coming up. There's going to be 2 instances of Springfest this year for definite. Don't forget the first Saturday in September is, of course, the Quattrophenia edition. This is the 5th year we've run Quattrophenia as well. Oh, it's half term. You can start late. Of course you can, buddy. I forgot about that. But yeah, we're going to be running Quattrophenia 5, the 5th year of running it from London to Brighton, which starts actually not in London. It starts in Crawley Down at the Duke's Head, and we drive through to the Brighton Marina where we finished. It's a brilliant day. We have some great people come along. The end of the summer, it's the lot for me. It's the last big show of the summer of getting together and seeing people. Brilliant show. I know Andy is on here. He came last year. A few other people that are on tonight have come along to it last year and other instances of it previously. It's a good show. Nice little drive. We all end up in the marina, have some nice food. Good fun. That's another great show. Obviously, there's a few other shows dotted around. The TT Addicts, which I am a moderator for. I've got a lot of different shows on around the UK as well for various things coming up this year. There's the German car show coming up. But just going back to the Vorsprung show, Andy, I got off a bit off kilter there, didn't I? The show where the Vorsprung show, I don't think he had as many people turn up as he expected. Everyone was spaced out around that field. It was just a bit higgledy-piggledy is probably the words I'm looking for. I think it made him lose faith in doing shows, but he is coming back doing another Audis in the Park this year, I think. But it's limited tickets, which I think is the right idea for him to do as well. I think that was his plan, was to create a smaller, more intimate show. That is the right thing. Holding a massive show, it's just, I just don't think the Audi scene's big enough in the UK to do it, support it. And I also think big shows that we do in the UK, do you know what? I was just about to talk about Simply Audi on that breath, and then Christoph has put it in the chat. So I've done Simply Audi twice. It's a great show. It's well laid out. If you've not been, definitely recommend you go because you get free entry to the car museum that's there as well. And in that car museum, you've got some fantastic cars. You've also got all the Top Gear projects over the years they built and put together as well outside. The good side is it's got a lot of cars there. The bad side of it is it's quite not spaced out, but it's very brand based or very not clicky, but it's very much like the R8's part together, the S4's part together, the TT. It's very much separated out like that. It feels very much split like that. But it's a good show. But the big reason I'm not a massive fan of it is by 11:30, people are leaving and going home. And I've driven all the way here from Kent. People have arrived at 9, and by 11 o'clock, people are going home. And I'm like, where are you going? Yeah, Calvin, that's the guy's name. Yeah, Calvin. Yeah. And I met Calvin for the first time, funny enough, at Simply Audi, and that's another story. And but Calvin puts on a great show, but I think he got a lot of frustration over the show that he put on at Vorsprung, and I think that's why Audi's in the Park failed in the end, is because it almost like grows beyond its size. I think the way forward for shows nowadays is, because there's so many of them as well, that what people are doing, anyone and his dog thinks that now they can say, oh, I like Audis, I'm going to put on a show, which is great. But what you've got to realise is there's so many of those shows going on now, it thins the crowd down. So a great example being, I noticed that the Northwest TT owners had a show on this weekend. I saw some pictures. There was about 6 cars there. It's the wrong time of year to be having a lot of big numbers because it's cold weather. We get that. But you can't expect big numbers at these shows because there'll be like 2 or 3 shows on the weekend the same day. Well, that's going to thin the crowd down. So what you need to do is you need to plan a weekend that there's nothing else going on if you're going to put a show on. That's what I'd recommend. Find a good venue if you're going to put a show on. Find a venue that's fully covered insurance-wise as well. So if you can find a venue that you can, like a cafe, something like that, So you can arrange with them, obviously speak to them first and say, I'd like to bring some cars to your venue, like for breakfast. Is that okay? Get there okay. Don't just rock up. And then put some word around and get the advertising done nice and early. Make sure there's no other competing TT shows going on that weekend and turn up. There are some great motorist venues in the UK, motorist being one of them, a great one up north. Fantastic venue for cars. There's a great TT show that goes on there every year. I think the TT Friends organise that one. There's also the Caffeine and Machine shows that go on. There's 3 sites in the south for Caffeine and Machine. They do a great petrolhead show. We've got a brilliant petrolhead venue down here in Kent with a great Art Nouveau sort of haute cuisine type menu as well. They've got like a squid ink bun burger, which is quite unusual, called the Stag down here in Kent in Challing. Brilliant little pub. That's a great venue for a car show as well. But they're the sort of size you want. That 30 to 40, 50 cars are the perfect size for a car show. Bigger than that gets a little bit impersonal. I like a small show that I can get around, I can speak to everybody, I can talk to everyone and sort of meet people, and that's great. The Brighton show is about 50 cars. If Jack's still on here, I don't know if you're still on, Jack, but if your dad's about, say 50 cars to him, you'll know what I'm getting at. But there's Brighton's about 50 cars. My garden's about 40 cars. Perfect size for a nice intimate TT meet. Obviously, TT International in Ypres is going to be 250 to 300 cars. So that is a lot of cars, but it's still a really good scene. People aren't spread out. You can get to speak to everyone you need to speak to. It's got the museum to look around. It's got catering facilities. It's got toilet facilities. It's got a repair shop. It's just a brilliant weekend. I mean, so that is probably the biggest show that I go to that's catered perfectly for TTs. But that I'm biased because obviously I arranged that one. But yeah, definitely worth going to. So we're at 97 minutes now, guys. So it is. It's probably coming up to the end of the show where, I know we've got 16 people on, but I'm getting a bit cold, so I'm probably gonna wrap up. But I just want to say a few things before I go tonight because I think it's quite, talk about the TT. That it's always good to share things with you, and I think it's such a special car. It's we're not gonna say. People use these as daily drivers, but they're not just a transportation device. These cars, are they? They're at the heart of everything we do, I think, and this is why I'm sort of like, speaking to you guys about it because, the design of it, the nostalgia of it, driving in the winter like I do in the Roadster, great weather, roof down. It's just a beautiful experience. That cold, get big smiles when I drive mine. Yeah, that's exactly it. And that's the difference. It's the smiles it puts on your face. Those first road trips you do in these cars, it means something to people. It means something to me, massively. It really does. And what I love about these live shows isn't just my channel. It's, for me, it's our little corner of the internet where the Mark 1 still matters. Because I think that's what I hope my channel brings to you as well. It gives you that little bit of like remaining corner of the world where the Mark 1 is still popular, because we have lost a lot of the content for Mark 1s, I think, recently. There's not as many people doing content, so hopefully I'm still bringing you that content as well, guys, and that you're enjoying it. So whether you've been here from the start tonight during the 2 dropouts we had, or if you just dropped on just for this last little bit, you just scrolled by, you've stopped and watched me for a bit, I honestly want to say from my, bottom of my heart, thank you for staying and watching and joining on tonight, and for bearing with me while we had those dropouts as well, because it does mean an awful lot to me as well. So, and if you enjoy these long form TT discussions, and you want to keep them going, keep them jumping on every week and watching what we do. And don't forget, if you are enjoying what I'm talking about and you want to support me and keep me being that sort of like funnel for the Mark 1 content, and you're not yet a member, please do click on the join link on my channel and help support me and help me continue to bring you the great content. I want to grow this community. I want to keep us as a real tight knit group of the absolute Audi TT fans, and yeah, make sure we keep it independent. But either way, even if you don't want to join as a member, if you want to buy me a cup of tea tonight, you can also click on the little super thanks button to buy me a cup of tea. But again, even if you can't do that and you just want to like follow me, give this feed a like here. Get over to my channel if it's the first time you're watching me and give me a follow. Definitely give the channel a follow. And I just love being here, chatting with you all, sharing my stories, sharing my history, things I've found out about the car, what makes the car tick, and what makes it all worthwhile. And I want to say, for me, I will be here the same time next week, hopefully in one go next week as well. And of course, if you want to drop me a message directly, if you want to get in touch with me, just drop me an email. I'm at Andy_Charger@hotmail.com. I'm always available for people to help them out. I had someone get in touch with me at the weekend from New Zealand, and he said, can he phone me on WhatsApp to talk about a problem he got with his cluster? Bearing in mind there's an 11-hour time difference between us. And he phoned me. I gave him my details. He phoned me up 5 o'clock UK time Saturday evening, and we had a discussion about his car, and I gave him some ideas to help him fix it. And that's the sort of things that really makes it different, makes it worthwhile for what I do, is helping you guys out where I can. So yeah, just look at the comments there. Thanks for doing these first TT time. I'm so impressed. Think I'll stay. KL6839. That's what makes difference to me, is knowing I'm helping you guys out. So I really appreciate you doing that. So yeah, have a good evening, Andy. Going to shoot you a message about the weekend on Instagram. Yes, buddy. Send me your details, and we'll definitely meet up and do that. Yeah, and yeah, we can have a good chat on Sunday at the meet. I'll probably be in the roadster unless I get this beast back on the road before then. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, thank you all. Thanks for all the support you give. Really appreciate you jumping on and staying with me tonight through the problems of the feed. And I'll catch you all again next Monday night at 7:30. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. If you're coming to Rochester next Sunday, I will see you there. But if not, catch you all soon. Riddler, again, thank you for being on as well. So I know you're a first time tonight as well. I'll try and come Sunday, but I'll have my ASBOs. That's all right, buddy. You come along and be what you like. Thanks all for jumping on tonight. Take care. I'm going to go now because it's getting cold. Take care all. See you later. Bye.